Adrian, it was the first walk we'd done with support. We'd always carried all our stuff. How was it for you? I understand you had a certain incident at Devil's Dyke.
Yeah, Devil's Dyke on an everyday weekend at 2 AM is not a good place to be. Well, it depends on your leanings, but no, there's a big pub car park that is the checkpoint at Devil's Dyke, but there are also a few smaller ones along the way, and they're quite notorious apparently for
dogging.
But there was obviously things going on there. It was not particularly a bit worrying actually. So it'll be it's reassuring to know that on the weekend there'll be hundreds of us, and there won't be any problems. So yeah, on Friday night in the camper van, I dropped the guys off, set off using the helpers sort of instructions and directions manual, and that was really good. The directions are really quite easy to follow. So I managed to get from Washington at checkpoint 5, I dropped them off, got to Botolph's in about 20 minutes and set up without any problems. Got the tarpaulin out, got the tables and chairs out. The guys have all got their stuff in boxes and bags, so it was just a case of getting those out so that they could find them easily. Setting up the camper van was pretty straightforward. Christine, I gather you've used it before, have you, or someone else?
Fiona
has. So that was all fairly straightforward. I got a bit lost at Devil's Dyke. Of all the places to get lost, I got a bit confused there. But the other, from Devil's Dyke to Jack and Jill was fine, another 20 minutes. From Jack and Jill to, what was the next?
Kingston Hollow.
Kingston Hollow, yeah. And then on to Brighton Racecourse. All fairly straightforward. And you get into a bit of a routine of parking up, getting the tarpaulin out, everyone's kit out. It worked pretty well that they would phone me 20 minutes or half an hour before they were arriving, and I'd get the kettle on, get the stuff ready. Pretty straightforward. You get into a bit of a routine. If it rains, the whole thing's going to be a different ball game, because it was nice and dry, so the tarpaulin was out in front of the camper van with the chairs and a table, and it was easy. But if it rains, we've got a gazebo, which is okay if the rain's not coming in sideways. So that's something we need to think about. I talked to Ali earlier today, and we discussed the idea of maybe making sure that each of you has some form of cover for your boxes. So if it is tipping down and you need to get into the camper van, we can at least put a couple of boxes outside, even if it's just temporarily while you change your socks and stuff.
That'd be nice, would be.
Yeah. That's something. What else? And I found that it seems like there's an enormous amount of time that you'll be hanging around and waiting, but the reality is that you aren't, because it takes you 15-20 minutes to clear up, and this is on my own in a car park, so let alone when there's 200 other people. So 15-20 minutes to clear up, 15-20 minutes to drive to the next location, another 15-20 minutes to unpack. By that time, they're moving on. So, I mean, I had my Kindle, my iPod, Ali lent me her DVD player, so I was all set up for an evening of leisure with my feet up, and actually there wasn't a great deal of time to do anything, and when there was time, all I did was kind of just, because he was asleep in her bed and I was kind of just going everywhere. So, but I think for me, Jack and Jill was the most memorable. The dawn, it was just getting dawn. It's a beautiful location, lovely view. It was amazing, and every time these guys arrived, you'd see them trudging along, and I was just sort of amazed that they were still going. In as much that it had taken me this amount of time to drive in a camper van and unload a few boxes. In the meantime, they were clocking up the miles, 10, 20.
That was amazing.
Oh, that was lovely.
Yeah, there's a point at Jack and Jill where it's pitch black just before dawn. And right over the distant horizon, I could see these four little like firefly lights bouncing around, and I thought, I wonder if that's them, and I phoned Caroline and I said, I think I can see you. I'm going to flash my camper van lights. So I flashed my lights at the top of the
Right on the
hill,
horizon.
and they could see me right over. So so no, I just I think there's no surprises, and I think my greatest worry is rain. I think we need to just think about being prepared for a downpour.